Hello all, myself Dr. M. Laxmidevi, Associate Professor in the Department of CSCDS at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. In this video lecture, we'll write some programs based on arrays. So we'll discuss the programs which are there in question bank. So here are the programs, list of programs we'll discuss. So the first one is, we'll write a C program to find out the sum of given list of integers. So in order to find out the sum of given list of integers, we are using the concept of arrays here. So in a list of integers, we have number of elements. We are going to store it in the form of an array. So what is array first? So let us see the definition of the array and then we'll write the program for this one. So first, array is nothing but it is a derived data type. It is a derived data type. And the next, regarding to the definition of array, we can say that array is ordered collection of, it is an ordered collection of homogeneous elements stored in consecutive memory locations. So we can see this is the definition of the array. So array is nothing but ordered collection of homogeneous elements which are stored in consecutive memory locations, or we can say that the elements are stored in contiguous memory locations. So what does this statement means here is, so array consists of number of elements. For example, suppose we have int a. So in this variable a, which is declared, which is the data type of this a is integer type. So it is a primitive data type. So we can hold only one value in this variable. So of the type, this which is described by this statement. So next, whereas array is also consisting of elements, but here it consists of number of elements. So it consists of number of elements, or it is ordered collection of homogeneous elements. So we declare the array as int a of some size, you can say suppose 10. So this is how we can declare the array. So here the name of the array is a, and it can store up to, this is the size of the array. We have said that it is ordered finite collection of elements. So finite in the sense it has some size. That means the maximum size which the array can hold, maximum elements which the array can hold, and it has all the elements are of homogeneous type. That means the data type of all the elements is same, and then they are stored in contiguous memory locations. So what does this mean is, suppose we write int a of this is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So here the array size is 4 here. So 4 elements are there. So this is how we can represent the array in the memory, array elements. So first element is stored at 0th index. Second element is stored at first index. So we can access each element of the array by using its index. So if the size of this array is 4, then length of this, we can say that if this is the size of the array, then last element has the index, the size minus 1. So first element, suppose all the elements are of integer type here. So if the first element is placed at 1000 location, then the next location will be the element, this 2 element, the value 2 will be stored at the location 1004, because integer requires 4 bytes of memory. So in this way, each element each element in the array, they occupy consecutive memory locations. Now here we will write a C program to find out the sum of given list of integers. So for this we have written, so this is the function we have written to find out the sum of integers. So let us see the main function first. So here inside the main function, so we have declared an integer variable. So in order to decide the number of elements, so here regarding to array, we need to take the size of the array. That means the maximum elements which are to be stored in the array. So that is given by the variable n. So with the help of this scanf function, we can read the value of n at this particular address. Now here we are writing an if condition here. So if that n value is less than or equal to 0, that means If the user is giving a value which is less than 0, then on the screen this printf statement will be printed. That is, it will show the user that it is an invalid input, and it will return with an error code 1. So next, in the next line, we have declared an array. The name of the array is numbers, and then this is the size of the array, which is read by this scanf statement. Then the data type of this array is integer. That means it can hold only integer values. So since we need to find out the sum of integers, so therefore it is of, the numbers are of integer type. Next, in the printf statement, so enter this, this statement will be printed on the screen. Enter %d integers. So that means here %d corresponds to n. That means it will, suppose the user is giving n value as 5. So then here on the screen enter 5 integers. So that will be the message which will be printed. So after this, the user can enter the 5 values of the array. So 5 elements in the array. So each element is stored at this particular address. We can, so numbers is name of the array, and each element of the array can be accessed by, in order to access each element of the array, we have the looping variable I, where I value changes from I is equal to 0, I is equal to 1, then I is equal to 2, I is equal to 3, and I is equal to 4. The last index will be n minus 1. So that is n, that will be I is equal to 4. So therefore in the for loop, this loop initial value of I is 0, and it is I less than n. So this will execute 4 times. So this will execute 0 to 4. So, and then in each step, or in each statement, this I value is incremented by 1. So first element is stored at the address. So at this particular address, so where I value is 0, second element is stored at numbers of 0, numbers of 1, third element is stored at numbers of 2, and so on. So next, after that, we are calling the function. So here name of the function is find_sum, and we are passing 2 parameters here. So we can directly pass the name of the array as argument here, and next one is another parameter which we are passing here is that is the size of the array. The return type of this function is an integer value, so that is assigned to the variable sum. Now let us see the function here. So in this, so at the starting itself, we have defined the function. So therefore no need of prototype, declaring the function prototype. Directly we have written the function definition here itself. So in order to receive array as when we are passing in the calling function, so in the calling function, when we are passing the array name as parameter or argument, you can say. So here in the function definition, you need to declare the array name. So we have defined the array name as array, and then this bracket specifies that it is an array, that is single dimensional array it is, and the other parameter is the size of the array. So here inside this function we have declared and initialized the variable sum is equal to 0, and then so this is the logic which is written to calculate the sum, of integers. So in order to calculate the sum of integers, the first value is, initially some value is equal to 0, then in the then when I is equal to 0, array of I, that means, so here arrays are passed inside the function by reference itself. So we actually operate on the arrays itself. So first element, suppose these are the elements which are given. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if this is the array, so 0. So this is array of 0. So this is array of 1. This is array of 2 and so on. This is 3 and this is 4. So initially I value starts from 0, I is equal to 0. So sum is sum value plus 1. So sum will be equal to 1 now. Now after this, in the second iteration, when I is equal to 1, so at this particular location, the value in the array is 2. So that value is added to the sum. So initially sum has 1. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So in this way, this loop will go on repeating, and it will calculate, it will access each element of the array, and it will calculate the sum of the array, and that sum value is stored in the variable sum. So at the end, after completing the for loop, so at the end we are returning the sum, So this sum value is returned here. So that is assigned to this variable sum in the main function. So we can print the value of sum of, so with this printf statement, the sum is displayed on the screen. Sum of the given list of integers is %d. So here %d is the format specifier to print the value which is stored in the variable sum. So in this way, we can write the program to calculate the sum of number of elements, to calculate the sum of given list of integers. Next one is, we'll write a C program to find the transpose of a matrix. So we have in array we have single dimensional array, and then we also have two-dimensional array. So two-dimensional array we can declare it as, so data type same, then array name, and then so we have two subscripts here. One is to specify the row and the other one is to specify the column. So suppose we have 10 by 10. So here it can maximum values which can be accommodated here in this array are 10 into 10, that is 100, and 10 into 10 100, and this 100 into 4. So that is the memory occupied by this array. Now let us see how we can write the program to find out the transpose of the matrix. So here we know that matrix. So suppose we have the matrix 1, 2. Suppose the matrix elements are, suppose we have a matrix A. So in the matrix we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the matrix which is given. So the transpose of the matrix is, so transpose of A is nothing but, so 1, 3, 2 and 4. So that means here, so in order to access the first element, so we can access the first element using this array indexing principle. So first element of the array can be accessed by 0, 0. That means, so this is the I is equal to 0 and this is j is equal to 0. These are the rows and these are the columns here. So first element can be accessed by 0th row and 0th column. And then the second, here this element can be accessed by, it has the index 0, 1. And this element has the index 1, so this is I is equal to 1. This is j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1. So here this has the index, this has the index 1, 0, and this has the index 1, 1. So by specifying with the help of these indices, so what we need to do here is, we need to swap in order to find out the transpose. So these rows, the values which are there in the rows, so they will be displayed as columns now. So 1 will be written as it is, whereas 2, so 0, 1, the element at 0, 0, 1 location is swapped with 1, 0 location. So that is what we need to do here. So 2 comes here and 3 comes here, and this 4 will remain as it is. Now if we have another matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here the new matrix will be, so these elements which are there in the first row, so they will be displayed as column elements in the first column, and these elements which are there in the second row, so they will be displayed as the elements of the second column, 4, 5 and 6. So this is the transpose of this particular matrix. Suppose this is matrix A. So this is the transpose of this particular matrix. Now let us see how we can write the program for this. So as we have seen that, so in order to use two-dimensional arrays, we need two sizes. First one is row size, next one is column size. So first one here, rows determine the row size, COLS determines the column size. So we need to enter the number of rows, we need to enter the number of columns. Row size is stored in the variable rows and column size is stored in the variable columns, COLS. Next we have, in this way we can declare a two-dimensional array. So we have two dimensions here. So one is the row size, the other one is column size. So next, in the next line, after that we need to read the elements of the matrix. So in order to read the elements of the matrix, if it is single dimensional array or one dimensional array, only one for loop is required, is sufficient. But when we have two dimensional array, we need two for loops here. So one to access the one looping variable we require, one loop to iterate over the rows and the other loop to iterate over the columns. So and then with the help of the scanf function, we can read the elements of the matrix. So here name of the array is nothing but matrix itself. So next after that we are calling this function to find out the transpose of the matrix. So here we are passing the row size, column size, and then name of the array as argument. So in order to receive that we need to, so this is a function definition. So in the function definition, so we are taking the parameter as rows. So this is of integer type and columns as integer type, and this is the matrix. So it is of integer type, it holds integer values. So and then rows and columns. So we need to specify the column size and the row size. So inside this we have written the definition for this. So first one is we have declared one more matrix, transposed matrix. So its size is the first index specifies the first subscript, this specifies the columns and this specifies the row size. So next for we are assigning the values of the matrix. We are assigning the values of this matrix to the transposed matrix. Now let us see how we can do that. So for example, if we take this one, if we take this matrix 1, 2, 3 and 4. Suppose this is the matrix we have. So matrix has the elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if we store the elements, if we store, these are the elements of this matrix. So first element can be accessed with the subscript 0, 0. Second element can be, second element has, so this is matrix of 0, 0. It specifies that it has the value 1. Then matrix of 0, 1 is equal to 2. Then matrix 1, 0 is equal to, so this is I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0. Sorry, I is equal to 1. This is j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1. So 0, 0, 0, 1. Then 1, 0, 1, 0 we have 3. And then matrix of 1, 1 is equal to 4. So this is how we can, so these are the corresponding subscripts to access the value 1 in this particular array. So what we have to do here is, in order to find out the transpose of this particular matrix, so we need to exchange this row values. So in the final matrix after transpose, after applying the transposes 1, 3 and then 2 and 4. So logic here is, what we have done here is, so this will, this is nothing but, this is 0, 0 and this one is, so matrix of 0, 1. So matrix of 0, the value present at this particular location, that is 0, 1, is assigned to matrix, this is 1, 0, 1, 0. This is the transposed matrix. So this is the transposed matrix. That means this matrix. So this is J and this one is equal to, so here this is nothing but, if this is I, this is J. So this becomes J and I. So with the help of this logic you can find out, you can assign this matrix values to the transposed matrix. Then in the next line, so in order to display this array elements, we are using two loops here, two for loops again we need to use. So in the first for loop, suppose if it is a 2 by 2 matrix, you will not get any error here. But if it is some another, if the matrix is of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here the row size is 0 and 1. So this is j is equal to 0, j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2. So we have 2 rows and 3 columns. So if this is the dimension, then in order to obtain the transpose of this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So in order to print this one, so now j is equal to 0 to j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2. So this is I is equal to 0, I is equal to 1. So we'll write first, initially I is equal to 0 to I less than columns. So 0, 1, 2 and then for each value of this I value, so j will be equal to, j is equal to 0 and j is equal to less than rows. So row size. So in this way we can print the transposed matrix. So in this way, we have written the C program to find out the transpose of the matrix by using two-dimensional array. So next program is to read the email ID and print the number of vowels, consonants and special characters in it. So this is a very simple program. So user is required to enter an email ID. Suppose we enter the email ID as something as IARE at the rate. Suppose we enter the email ID as usha@gmail.com. So this is to be read as a string. So here in this string, we need to count. The program is about to print the number of vowels. So vowels are nothing but A, E, I, O, U. So not only small letters. So even if these are in uppercase also, A, E, I, O and U. So all this are vowels. Whereas consonants are, so apart from vowels, whatever characters we have, those are consonants like B, C, D, F, G. So in the English alphabets, so all the alphabets other than these, they are considered as consonants. Then after that, special characters. So special characters are nothing but like dot, @ symbol. So all the symbols and all, they stand for special characters. Now let us write a program for this. So here in this we have included two header files. So one is the standard header file, stdio.h header file. The other one is ctype.h header file. So here first we can read the string. So in order to read the string, we declare an array of characters. So which can store up to 100 characters So this is the size of the array. So string is also stored as, string is nothing but a sequence of characters which is stored in the form of character array. So char, data type and then name of the array, and this one is the size of the array. Then next after that, the user is on the screen. The user will be prompted to enter the mail ID. So by using this statement, by using the scanf statement, the user can enter the email ID. So without this %s is the format specifier to specify that it is a string. Next after that, we are initializing the vowels as 0 and consonants as 0 and special characters count as also 0, because initially we are not counting any vowels, consonants and special characters. Therefore, we have initialized all the variables with 0. Next after this, so we are writing inside the for loop. So for loop starts from, since it is an array, so we need to access each element of the array. So for that we have used this for loop. So for I is equal to 0, so last element of the character array can be accessed by this condition. So till this condition is reached, so this loop will go on repeating. So char current character is equal to email of I. So with the help of this, we can access each character in the email, each character in the array. Next after that, we are using this function is alpha current character. If it is an alphanumeric is alpha function, with this function it will return true. It will return true if it is either the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G and so on. If it is alphabets, it will return true. Next after that, if it is true, then it will go to this particular statement. If is vowel, so for this we have written a function here, is vowel. It takes character type as argument. Parameter is character type. So we are converting this to lowercase and then assigning that lowercase value to the same variable ch, to the same character variable ch. So it will return if any of this case is matching. If ch is equal to a or ch is equal to a, it will return a value 1. It will return an integer value which is equal to 1 here. So if it is 1, then vowel count will be incremented by 1. So else, if this condition becomes false, then consonant count will be incremented by 1. If both the conditions are, if this condition fails, if this condition fails, that means if is alpha current char, it returns false value, that means 0. That means false. It is if this statement is false, then this statement will be executed. Special character count will be incremented by 1. So at the end, So after considering each and every character in the character in this email variable, so we are going to display the number of vowels, number of consonants, and number of special characters. So corresponding variable value is stored in vowels, corresponding variable for consonants is stored in the variable consonants, and this is the format specifier to specify the special characters in the email ID. So in this way, if you execute the program and give this as the input usha@gmail.com. So in this we have these are the vowels here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 vowels we have. So we have 5 vowels and remaining are consonants. So we have 2 characters @ and dot. So @ and dot, these are 2 special characters which are there, and remaining are consonants. So in this way we can write the program to check in the email ID how many vowels, consonants and how many special characters are there. Next is, we'll write a C program to check whether a string is palindrome or not without using string function. So there are some string inbuilt functions which are available in string.h header file, with the help of which we can find out the reverse of the string, and then after that we can compare the original string and the reverse string and then say that whether they are in palindrome or not. But we are not going to use string functions. Instead of that, we are going to write our own function to check whether the string is in palindrome or not. So for that, we have written user defined functions. So is palindrome. So we'll start with the main function. So first one is, we have declared a character array. Name of the array is str and it can store up to 100 characters. So enter the string. With the help of this fgets function, we are going to read the string into the variable str. So here fgets function is preferred as compared to gets function. So this reduces the problem of buffer overflow. So therefore we are going to use fgets function. Next, after that, in this if this condition becomes true, then after that we are calling this function. Is palindrome is a function which takes one argument, and if this is true, then it will print that the corresponding string is palindrome. Else, if it is false, then it is going to print the statement. Now is palindrome. So whenever the compiler sees this statement, it will go to this particular line. So here we have defined here in this line we have defined the function. So it takes one parameter. So the parameter is of character type. It is an array of character type. So in order to receive the character array, so we need to use the name of the array and then square brackets. So next, after that, length is 0. We have declared a local variable named length. Its value is assigned to 0. Next, we are going to find out the length of the string by using this while loop here. So we know that in any, suppose we have str variable, and we can store array of characters here. Suppose A, B, C we have. So at the end we have a null character. So by checking this condition, we are going to find out the length of this string. We are going to check the length of the string. So after finding out, suppose for this string, so it has the length 3. So no need to include this last character. So null character we are not including in the length of the string. Just we are checking how many characters are there in the string. So here, if you apply this while loop for this particular string, you will get the length of the string as 3. So next, so we have declared 2 variables, start and end. So initialize in order to access, start is the index which specifies the first element of the character array, and end determines it is positioned at, it shows the last element of the, so it will point to the last element of the character array. So this is the index of the first element and this is the index of the last element, end, start and end. So end is given by length minus 1. So if the length is 4 here, so if the length is 4, so end is pointing to 4 minus 1, that is equal to 3. So while start is less than end. So this is the condition to check. Now we have written another while loop here. So in order to check whether the given string is palindrome or not. So while start is less than length, and then it will check these 2 conditions. If the 2 conditions are true, then only start value will be incremented by 1. Otherwise, it will come out of this loop. So here, suppose we enter a character A here. So it will check this condition. Start is less than length, as well as it will go to this particular function. Is alphanumeric is a function which we have defined here. So it takes character variable as the parameter, and it will again call either this one, this function, or this function, is alphabet or is digit. Is alphabet ch, then it will go here. So if any of the condition matches here, if ch value is in between A to Z, or if it is in between capital A to capital Z, then it will return true. So true, even if this is false, it will return true value only, because true or false is true only. So in this way, so this will return true if it is either a digit or a alphabet, alphanumeric. Next, after that, we are in the next line, again we are declared one more while loop here. So in order to access each character in the string from the end, so we have declared another while loop here. We have used one more while loop, while end is greater than or equal to 0, and again we are checking the same condition, not is alphanumeric str of end, not alphanumeric str of end. If both the conditions are true, so then end minus minus, so that means this it will now this position will be decremented by 1, and then so in end we have this value. So suppose this is 0, 1, 2. So start will have a value 0 initially, and end will have a value 2 initially. And then if this condition becomes true, end value is decremented by 1. So we are incrementing the start value by 1. Next, after this, we are checking this condition. We are check if the characters at corresponding positions are equal or not. So start less than length and end is greater than or equal to 0. So this condition must be true, as well as again this condition is also must be true. That means 2 lower str of start if the character at this is converted to 2 lower, that means it will convert this character to lowercase. And then if this is not equal to 2 lower of str of end, suppose str of end we have 2 c here. So not equal to str of end means if it is true, so then it will return 0, and it will return 0, and it will come out of this, it will say that it is not in palindrome. Next, after this if condition, so this condition becomes false, it will come here again. So start plus plus, and then again end minus minus. So in each comparison, start value is incremented by 1 and end value is decremented by. So if the condition is, so if this condition is true, then it will return this. If the condition is false, then it will increment the start value and decrement the end value. So this loop will go on repeating, and in each iteration it will compare each and every character, the first character at the starting and the last character at the ending. So these two are compared. So it compares character by character. So if there is any space in the string, so that is avoided, and the next character is considered here. So if we run this program and if you execute, then, and if you enter this as the string, a man, a plane, a plan, a canal, and a Panama. So if this is the string, a man, a plan, a canal, last one is Panama. So here you can see that, so first character is A, last character is also A. So it will go on checking. Then after that, this condition will, this character is start value is incremented by 1. So here we have M. So last we have M here. So these two are also matching. So therefore this condition, so condition which is mentioned here, that also will become false. Next, after that, start value is incremented by 1. Next again, so it will skip these spaces and it will check only the characters in the string. So if you run this program, this is the output which we are going to execute, which we are going to obtain. So it will, this is a statement which is printed on the screen. The string is in palindrome. So in this way, we have seen different programs based on arrays. So we have seen how to find out the sum of numbers given in the array. Then we have seen other programs also. So at the last, we have seen how to check whether the given string is in palindrome or not. So with the help of character array. So in the next video lecture, we'll discuss some more concepts of C programming. Until then, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.